Okay, let's begin. Hello to everyone. Let's continue our exercise as usual. Planning and control management part 3, how to establish or develop detailed baseline program. So we are now on the starting on part 3, that is to develop a detailed baseline program. Previously we are working on the part 2 on how to develop a new project. So we are moving now. We are moving forward. So here is our previous episode, part 2, session 15, the last session of part 2, which we discuss how to maintain and assign project baselines. And here is now our current episode for part 3, session 1. It is the start of our part 3, and we will be discussing the introduction, and part of it is the adding activities for the detailed baseline program. Now, congratulations to all. We have completed the part 2 of our exercise in 15 sessions. And now we are to start part 3 of our exercise on how to establish or develop detailed baseline program. Okay, let's have some insights, conditions, and assumptions for our detailed baseline program. Our introduction here is detailed baseline program is part of project planning processes, usually utilized as project baseline program required by most construction contract after the award. And at a certain period following notice to proceed, and forms part of contract documents that completely defines required scopes and deliverables. Detailed baseline program is the fragment of tender program with the required level of detail at essentially of measurement, suitability, and tailored to the manageability of progress assessment and valuation during project execution. Now we have here our assumptions for exercise purposes. For simplicity, minimum number of detailed direct activities, indirect activities, and milestones will be added into the tender program to develop a detailed baseline program to demonstrate minimally on how to break down tender program activities into a required level of detail and organize detailed baseline program in an acceptable and or practical approach. And we have here method A, tender program will be adapted for the development of detailed baseline program, and the same will be utilized for the whole course of this exercise. And here is our assumption that the NTP will be ordering the commencement of performance of 5 days upon the receipt thereof on the first day of June 2022. So take note of this one. We will be using this when establishing the dates of our detailed baseline program. So as mentioned, we will be adapting and utilizing tender program method E or method A to develop our detailed baseline program. So, okay, our first step here is to prepare a draft on how to organize our detailed baseline program. Now, we shall disintegrate direct and indirect activities into a lower level of detail, or in other words, into smaller units of work. So assuming this is our draft for the activities breakdown from tender activities expanding into detail as shown here. Okay, so detailed baseline program breakdown. So on the left window, half of the window, we have here the data for the tender program method A that we had just completed. And then at the right side of the window will be the data of the detailed baseline program, where we have to break down the activities from the tender program. Okay, let's start. So of course, from the tender program, we have no milestones in here. So, but in our detailed baseline program, we have to create a milestones, 5 milestones here, which is the contract award, notice to proceed. When we say contract award, so assuming our tender program won the bid, so the project sponsor will have to send a letter for the contract award, stating that the project was awarded to the contractor, and notice to proceed will follow a few days after the contract award, stating the when will be the stating some other informations, and primarily stating the days when will be the final start of the project, maybe a few days after the receipt of the notice of proceed. While the site handover, we considered or assumed this as an interim milestone just for exercise purposes, that this item will be delivered earlier than the project handover. So project handover is the whole project completion. Okay, so let's start on the preliminaries. So we have under the preliminaries, we have the mobilization, which is 45 days. And when we look at our detailed baseline program, we have broken down this into 2 activities with a 15 and 30 days duration. So 15 plus 30 days duration will satisfy the tender mobilization 45 days. So that means this should be on a finish to start relationship. Okay. Next is the established temporary facilities for 30 days. And in our detailed baseline program, it should show 2 activities, each for 15 days. Of course, finish to start a relationship to satisfy the 30 days duration of the tender program. Next, we have the on the construction side, we have first the site clearing and earthworks, which we have 130 days duration in our tender program. But in our detailed baseline program, it will be broken down into 4 activities: site clearing, excavation, grading, and compaction, each having a broken duration also. So I'm pretty sure that this duration has an overlapping. We will see later. Okay, next. Okay, we have to continue for the next page. Okay. Here's the continuation. Site drainage network. This is part of the construction phase or of the project for 45 days. And looking at the detailed baseline program, we have broken down into 2 activities also, which is 10 to 35 days, and of course, finish to start relationship. Site next is site concrete road network for 30 days. And this is also broken down into 2 activities, 20 days each. So this means if you add this one, it will give you 40 days, which will not match with the tender duration of 30 days. So that means this has an overlapping of 10 days. So it will start 10 days after the start of formwork. The concreting will start 10 days after, and it will be finished 10 days after also. Okay. Next is the site perimeter wall is 232 days, which is a longer duration. So it will be broken down into 4 activities: earthwork, concrete footing, concrete column, and six-bill wall with corresponding duration. And this could be also has an overlapping duration. We will see later. Next is the gatehouse and gates. So it is also broken down into 2 tasks, 70 to 30 days. That is finished to start relationship. Now we have the site clearing and pull out. And here, so this shows that there is no breaking of activities here. Okay. And also in project management, okay, we don't break any activities here. And then transportation, the same thing. And yeah, so there is this, there's still the same. The tender program and the detailed baseline program is the same for transportation. Okay. Now let's create a copy of our detailed baseline program by replicating a tender program method A. So it is just a matter of a copy and paste, right? So let's open our project in P6. Okay, here we go. So we will open the project. So we will go to the shortcut menu, shortcut icon, and then we will look for our project tender A. Okay, here is the tender A project. So we will copy this one for our detailed baseline project. And so what we need to do here is just highlight it and then click. You can right click and then copy, and then right click again and then paste. Okay. Okay, everything is okay. Now we have to rename this into, let's say, a detailed baseline program. So it means DBL. So we will rename this also. Instead of tender program, we have to rename it into detailed baseline program. Okay, done. So we have already our, no, this is wrong. How okay, we will just copy this one. We rename the different project. Okay, so this tender A is, it should be, it should be tender A. Okay, sorry for that because, okay, so this is our project. So we will open this one. Okay. So we are now on our project for the detailed baseline schedule. Okay. Now we have already our project for detailed baseline program. So our next step here is to create additional WBS label for our detailed baseline program. So I think we just need to add the WBS for the milestone. Okay, let's go to WBS. So we will use the shortcut of this WBS window. Okay, and then we'll put here, since our milestone is, we'll put it on top. So we will highlight this one and then right click and then add. And then let's name, let's say MLN, or meaning that is a milestone. Okay, so done. So next, we have to assign this into the added milestone. So meaning we have already this one, so we have to what you call this, add an activities for milestone, right? So that we can assign this WBS. So we will go to activities, and then if you can look at here, you can see here, the milestones has no activity yet. So we have to add an activities for the milestone. Okay. So we'll put it here, or we can say we will add it here, highlight, then add. Okay. Because we want to add it in under the milestone, so we have to put it here. So let's say the activity ID is 5 zeros. We will make it as the contract award. Okay. And then next is let's click add. And then let's say we'll use this as 00010. That is for the notice to proceed. And then right click again. Now right click and then add, let's say, yeah, it's correct. It's already 20. So let's say project start. Okay. And then let's click add. Then we will say 30. That's okay. So let's say we'll make it site handover or interim milestone. Actually, in my experience, there are so many interim milestones, but since this is only an exercise, so we'll just need one just to make some demonstrations on how to do it, and then right click again. Next project handover. Okay. Now next, we have to put an activity type in here, or we will do the assigning of the activity type later after we completed all the what do you call this? We completed all the adding of the activities for the detailed baseline schedule. So we will start from here. Mobilization. Okay. Okay, as per our draft detailed activities, we will be adding, let's say we will modify this into make it as M-1. Look at our draft so that you can follow me. So M-1, that is for the mobilization of that means mobilize, let's say mobilize for let's say mobilization for temporary facilities. And then the duration is how much? 15. We will change it to 15. Take note, you may wondering why we are changing these activities because we are now working on the detailed baseline program. The one that we finish is only the tender program for the purposes of submitting for tender bidding. But this one is already awarded, so we need to prepare the detailed program that will be workable during the execution of the project. But what we need to do here, we are breaking this down into a smaller work, but the cost and the date should be satisfied according to the tender program, okay? So 15 days duration. And then what shall we do next? So we can copy to create another activity. We can copy this one. Just Control C and then Control B. Because we all need this one, all the parameters here, we need it. So just click this one so that it will not pop up again. Okay. Then okay. Uh, do not show this one. Okay. Okay. So we have already here. So we will make this as into two. Actually, this activity ID, you can uh, change these settings under the project. We'll go to project and then highlight the project. And then here you can see here the defaults. So you can manipulate these auto numbering defaults. Okay. I'm just giving you the information if you want to use this one. But our project is only small, so there's no need. We can input the activity ID so quickly. So let's get back to the activity. Now mobilization for next mobilization for site construction. For site construction. Okay, how much is the duration? So that is 30. So if you look at our draft, it should be finished to start relationship with this other one. Actually, we can link this directly, or we can do it later on. But since we are now here, so we can do it linking directly so that we will be having a minimize work later on when we link. Okay, so let's link it because we are sure that the relationship here is really finished to start. So highlight and then highlight the successor, then right click and then link. Okay, it moves. So next, we will go to establish temporary facilities. So let's rename this into B001-1. And then let's rename it into temporary facilities construction of temporary facilities. Actually, where we put here the general activities into establish temporary facilities, but actually it includes utilities. That is why. So when we say here facilities, that is for buildings and offices, something like that. So how the duration here is 15. Okay. I think we have to close the column for this item because this is not the real one anymore. We will put it back later if we need it. So let's remove it. Okay. Okay. So next construction, then we will next is we will add the activity install temporary utilities. So let's just do the copy and then paste. Okay, right click, copy, then right click, paste. So we will make it into 2. I think the sorting of the activity here is not good enough. So we will sort it into, go to customize, sort and group, and then sort. Let's put it first into the activity ID. Delete this one, and then make it ascending. So okay, apply. Okay. So it will be sorted by the increment of activity ID. Okay, let's go to installation of temporary utilities. So how many days? It's 15 days. Okay, let's go to construction. that is under site clearing. Okay, let's change this into one. That's one. And it will be changed to site clearing. So let's remove this one. And how much is the duration? It's 10. Okay. Now let's copy, right click, copy, right click, paste. And then let's make this into 2. And the activity is excavation and backfilling. And backfilling. Okay. How many days? 60. Okay. Then right click and then right click, copy and then paste. Okay. Let's rename it into 3. And the activity name is grading. And the same date as the same duration as 60. So right click, right click and then copy, right click and then paste. I will change it into 4. And then what is the function? And then the same 60 days. So for drilling this one, how can we assume? So we need to assume first, let's say, let's link all these activities and let's assume that there is an overlapping of, let's say, half of the duration. So first we will have to highlight the first activity, then followed by the next activity, next activity, next activity, and then right click, and then fill down. No, link. Okay, so it shows like this. So, but what we are planning is to overlap these 3 activities. Okay, let's try to overlap it. So what we need to do here is to link again these 3 activities, link, link, and then right click, and then link again. So if you highlight this activity and then click the tab here for the relationship, this predecessor here, it shows that the predecessor of site clearing excavation. So that's fine. Now here, if you highlight the excavation and backfilling, it has 2 successor. So the relationship type here is the should be start to start and finish to finish. So we will click change this into start, and the log, since we need to overlap it half the duration, so we will make it 30, and also for the finish to finish will be 30. Okay, and the same thing as in here in grading, it should overlap by the compaction for half the duration, which is 30 days. So if you look at it here, so we'll change the start and then change the log into 30 days for start and finish. Okay, this is only our initial assumption, but we have to rectify this accordingly to satisfy the tender duration. Okay. Okay, next we will go to site drainage. Site drainage, the first activity is trenching. So we'll change activity ID to 1. And this is trenching. Okay. How many days is the duration? 10 days. Okay, let's highlight, right click, and then copy, and then paste. Okay, so we'll change this to 2. Activity is drainage construction. And then how much is the duration? It's 35. Okay, So let's assume this is a, we will link this in a finish to a start relationship. So we'll highlight this one, then right click and then link. Okay. Next is what? A decide concrete road network. So we'll change this E to -1. And then the first activity is formwork. And then it's 20 days. So, okay, let's copy this one because there is another activity for concreting. So right click it and then copy, right click again and then paste. Okay, then let's change the activity ID to 2 and then let's change this to concreting. Okay, so we will link this one and this one with overlap. Okay, and then link again because it is a start to start and finish to finish relationship. So it has two relationships. So highlight this one and then looking at the successor window. Here we need to change the relationships type into start to start and let's make it 10. The log is 10. Okay. So it makes 30 days, which match with the what do you call this? With our tender program. Also the what do you call this? Our site drainage network, it match also. Our site clearing earthworks, it's 130, it match also. And how about our established temporary facilities, 30 days, it match. And here it's 45, so everything match. So we will be have a little problem later, okay? Let's go to site perimeter wall. Site perimeter wall. We have our activity, which is F1050, that's one. And the first activity is earthworks. Earthworks. And the duration is 30 days. Okay, and then let's copy that one. Right click and then copy and then paste. And let's name this into 2. And that is concrete footing. How much is the duration? That's 60. And then right click, copy, right click, paste. Change the activity ID into 3. And then the activity, rename the activity name into concrete column. Duration is still 60, the same. Right click, copy, right click, and then paste. And then let's rename this into 4. And then what the activity name is CHB wall. CHB wall. And the duration is 82. Okay. Okay. Let's try an initial sequencing. First, we will link for this. Right. Highlight and then shift and then right click and then fell down. No. Link. Okay. So we will overlap these two. Let's try so that we will see if the duration is matching with the tender. So if you look at our tender schedule, the total duration is 232. If you look at our schedule here, since we up, we link it into finish for all of them. It shows 232. So we are already fine here. Okay, but actually in reality, this is only an exercise. In reality, you can start the column after maybe 30 days of the voting. But anyway, never mind it first. Okay, let's go forward. Let's go to guardhouse. Uh, let's change this into -1. And the first activity of the guardhouse is to construct the guardhouse. Construction of guardhouse. Okay, and then copy, right click copy, and then right click paste, and then we'll change this to 2, and then construction of gates. Okay, this one is 72 days, and next is 30 days. Okay, so the total duration from tender is 102. So we will try to link this by finish to start relationship. Okay, it comes out to be 102. So it satisfies the tender duration. So in clearing and pull out, I think we are still the same here for all. So okay. So we have already started the linking. So I think we have to continue the final linking of these activities in the next episode because too much longer of the of this exercise will sometimes it gets us bored. Okay. So we're done here, and then I think we've done fair enough. So it's good for a break. Okay, let's continue this next episode. Anyway, okay. Okay, next episode is part 3, session 2, how to establish a detailed baseline program. That is to link and organize activities for detailed baseline program. So see you and thank you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Okay, end of session. God bless to all and goodbye.